Okay,
Let's do it.
we're good. All right, so everybody, welcome back to another episode of Cuatro Cuatro Dos. Once again, boy Cristian, and today I have a special guest. I want to do a quick introduction. I listed some things that maybe he'll agree or maybe he won't, but I think this is what I saw from him from like following social media. So with me today, I have Sebastian, Sebastian, Seba, whatever you want to call him. And he's a designer, business owner, entrepreneur, soccer player, league owner, photographer, curator, and culture maker. What would you think about that? What do you think?
I appreciate the introduction, man. Thank you for the invite to your channel, Cuatro Cuatro Dos. I've heard about it, man. I like what you're doing as well, and just appreciating the invite, man. For real.
For sure. So I mean, let's kind of get to it because I you I see that you're involved in like a bunch of different things, right? Like
Yeah.
from designing to doing this and doing that. But let's just start from like the beginning because I see that you're Ecuadorian. Ecuadorian. I can't even talk. But how would you say Ecuadorian?
Ecuadorian. Yeah, you. That's how you say it, man. That's how you
All
say
right,
it.
cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm Argentinian myself, so I'm a fellow South American. So
Yeah.
how did you end up here in Houston?
Well, man, honestly, like my parents just like moved us to the U.S. when I was 12 years old, and honestly, it happened so fast. Like they got the papers ready, and then it was like we moved within like 2 weeks, I think, man. Like
Yeah.
it was like a sudden change, but like me, I always like like adventures. I always wanted to see what was beyond my home country and everything because I remember everything perfectly. But yeah, it was a little bit tough, like adjusting to here because we came straight to the suburbs. We didn't, I'm used to the city. Like I grew up in the city. I used to play concrete like with my friends, like walking right outside my house. So I didn't have really anything going on. When I got here, I love the sport. So so yeah, man. And then eventually, like I got into the stuff that I like. Got into photography. I got into skateboarding. That got me into like photography. So
Right.
basically, that was like the very first start of like getting into the world of like creativity. Also graffiti as well was one of the things that got me into like starting this. Because before the soccer thing it was just like more of like music, art, and obviously like skateboarding. So that's the
That's
thing
what's up.
that's how
I
I started basically.
Yeah, I see a lot of people that come from like I have a friend also that he's also a skateboarder. He's a musician. He can draw, like he can paint. Now he's a videographer. Like there's something in skateboarding, right? There's a lot of creativity when it comes to create like just going straight from like skateboarding. You have to be creative, and then you kind of like branch out to different things, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
skateboarding is like makes you just be out there, like finding new spots, and then eventually like you start liking graffiti because you go to like the spots and you start wondering like what's the stuff that's on the wall. And then one of my cousins, like he lives in Chicago, he came one time over here and then he showed me his black book, and after I seen his black book I was just like, wow, like that's amazing. Like I basically that's how I got into graffiti because that was like such a big inspiration, and skateboarding like all mixed together, like it just made sense at the time.
That's what's up. That's cool, man. That's cool. Um, so you started like drawing and stuff like that, and that's how you got into like designing.
Well, I started drawing, man, but I was never really that good. Like I was like I could do like like I could tag, I could do like like a throw up. A throw up is the bubbly letters,
Yeah.
that were cool. So I even got to do like a couple like blog letters. I try to really do like some wild style stuff, but it was never really that good, to be honest. Like that was just one of the callings, to do what I like to do, as far as like photography, because then I got into photography and I was just taking photos of like the graffiti that other people did as well, and it kind of got like a little bit of like recognition. But the crazy part is that nobody knew who I was because I was like doing it behind the scenes. Like I wasn't, it was an anonymous name, just a person just taking photos and stuff. And I still don't want to even reveal that to this day. I wanted to just be that part of like my life, which is
Gotcha.
cool.
And how did you get into like the whole like soccer thing?
Well, man, so there was like this the I had gone to LA, and I was just passing by the Supreme store, and I was at the Supreme. This was like back in 2015. or 16. I'm not sure, 15 or 16. So I'm passing by the Supreme store, and I have like one of my old friends. His name's like Spody. He's like a guy that used to work at the Supreme store. So he was talking to one of his friends, and his friends was they were talking about like a PSG pop-up shop, and the PSG pop-up shop, like, and I overheard him say it, and then I came back, he's like, what's going on, like, is the PSG having a pop-up? And then he was like, yeah, like, it's like down the street, like at the seventh letter. Anyway, like it happened to be like a private party. Like 2 days later, I found the flyer through online, digging, because I was like in LA for like a week or so, and I had gone to the pop-up, to the PSG pop-up, but my name wasn't on the list. It was a private party. I didn't even know. So I was trying to convince the people. I was like, yo, I'm leaving to Houston, which was a lie. I wasn't leaving the next day. I was like, I'm about to leave to Houston tomorrow. Like, could you please? And I was like, could you look for Spody? And, they went to look for him, but one of his friends was like, Spody, like, it's all good. You can come in, because I was with one of my friends. And then just going to that store, like, I was just like mind blown by the aesthetics, like, just like the way that they were like, putting the names on the back of the jerseys, which I got one. And honestly, like, I asked for like a like a cheap jersey. It was like $50 like PSG jersey, and somehow, like, I didn't realize later on that they gave me that the official jersey, the player match jersey, which is like $160 or so. But anyways, like, they hooked me up with that one. I didn't even know. And yeah, like, just the vibe, the music, the DJ, the drinks, the people, like the art gallery that was there was just cool. That really blew my mind. But one of the biggest things I pay attention to was one of my friends. He goes by the Red Devils on IG. He has his own brand called like FC Dorsum, which is like a fictional soccer club. And he, like, I had taken a picture of like Spody, like, my guy from the Supreme store that was wearing the jersey, because it had the Supreme logo on it. So I ended up taking a picture of it. Like, I upload that online, a couple months later, and it just blows up, on like South Korea, like, because my friend was having a pop-up over there as well, which I met just right there. So just looking at how, like, it grew, like, the culture and like his brand, like, he's like one of the guys that inspired me, because he was working at the PSG pop-up. Like, his name is Ben, by the way. And, FC Dorsum and his group of friends, like, I was always like hitting him up. I was like, hey man, how can I be part of this? How can I, that was always nice. That was like letting me, just, anytime I go to, the time that I went to LA, they interview me with Kicks to the Pitch. I don't know if you heard.
No.
Well, you should look him up. It's like a dope culture platform on Instagram. And yeah, man, it was, it was love. And then from there, I was just like, you know what, it's time to do it in the city, because I don't live in LA. Like, I don't have the money to live in LA. So it's just like, you know what, it's time to do it in the city. So I started with GTSFC. It was like Ghost Town Saints. It's a fictional club that I created, with the inspiration, with the PSG pop-up, and, with the FC Dorsum, and Kicks to the Pitch, which was like really dope too.
It's funny that you mentioned the ghost. Was it Ghost Saints?
Ghost Town Saints.
Ghost Town Saints.
Or GTSC.
Yeah, I came across the jersey, and I was like, man, that's a badass jersey, right? And I started looking for the team. I was like, well, where's this team at? Like, what do they play? Where are they? Like, me, like, wanting to watch them play. And now that you're like mentioning all these like fictional soccer teams, like, I follow Saltaire FC, okay. And it's becoming like a thing to have like your fictional soccer team, but it's also part of that culture, create what I call culture creating, like, mixing the soccer, street mixing, hip hop and all these things, and it's pretty badass. And so that was your first jersey that like you designed, right?
Yeah, that was the first jersey that I designed. I could say like more curated, because you obviously get the blanks,
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to find a plug from Europe, and then I was able to get some jerseys from Europe, like at a good price, without paying so much. Mm-hmm. And the dope thing about the European jerseys versus the Nike jerseys is that the European jerseys have like the big Nike swoosh on them, versus the ones in the US. I don't know why they do that. The US ones have like a very like small swoosh, which just looks kind of bootleg to me, because the big swoosh reminds me of like, the big clubs like you know, like the PSG kids and etc. You know,
Yeah.
so that's why
Well,
like it kind of sucks to get like Nike blank jerseys from the US because they put that small swoosh that I dislike.
so getting into the whole jersey making, I see that. Let's talk about the Vote League, and then because you also designed those jerseys, right, for the league?
Yeah, man. The crazy part with the league, man, is that I took that project like because I was pissed that every time that I wanted to go play at a league was that it was like no substance, like no creativity, like just a lack of culture, like you know, just not
Yeah.
making anybody feel like a little bit special, like and they're expensive, you know, because you pay for a league like you know 60, $80 and there's absolutely like no substance, like you don't you if you get lucky you get a t-shirt, you know, but
Yeah.
like kind of like everything's like all over the place, you know. And you know, it's like my first time ever running a league, but I did it with the love because I was like, you know, I'm thinking of players like myself that just want to have something cool in the city. So and the crazy part with the league, I was just like, how can I make this like happen in a good creative way? So the more that I was like, you know, building it, I was like, I realized that man, I have to do everything. Like I have to be like from top to bottom, like has to be built, has to be planned. So I designed all the logos. I designed, you know, I curated the kits, you know, I designed the logo of the league and yeah, man, like, you know, choosing it was a fun process. Obviously, it's tiring, you know, because you
Yeah.
sometimes you run out of you know, out of energy because it's so hard to put all these ideas out, you know, because also doing like these other projects, so it's kind of hard to you know keep pumping ideas to the league. Well, and it was fun, man. It was fun, but now that it's way better than what I expected, you know, because I see how people really are, you know, like taking it serious, you know, because of COVID, you know, we had to delay the league, and you know, we had like players that had already paid for the league, players that were just didn't even think that it was going to happen, you know. So you know, I'm really happy that we're patient, and you know, it paid out. So far, you know, we're going to the playoffs, and everything seems like really good. Everybody likes the photos, everybody likes the aesthetics, but every day I do believe that I can add something to it, you know. Every day I feel like, you know, things need to be upgraded. Like I don't want it to just be like a one thing that, you know, stays like that. I actually want to keep growing, like, you know, making
Yeah.
it better, like have a better experience for the players.
That's what's up. And also kind of following up into that, do you have a team like you work with, or you do it by yourself? Like, and if you do it by yourself, how do you find the time to like incorporate all the things that
As
go
far
in?
as creativity, like I do it by myself. Like I used to have a team where like they were helping me, but you know, since like COVID happened, like, you know, everything kind of like broke out. Like, you know, I wasn't able to pay people that I needed to pay for
Yeah.
the things, you know, because like I wasn't getting the jobs that I was trying to get. And you know, there's an instance that I overtook jobs that I was like getting overwhelmed with, that you know they weren't going coming out right, because it was kind of like, you know, get the money and you know try to do the best you can, you know. So uh, you know, I was able to like the good thing is that I always like get to work with super dope people, like people that are understanding, people that, you know, see the vision, people that are very patient, like and just people that really want to grow. And you know, a lot of the people that I was able to work with, they know that, you know, creativity and, you know, being something being successful doesn't happen overnight, which is the cool thing about it. So, you know, with all the people that I've worked with, that, you know, the work might have not come out as good. Like, you know, we came to, you know, we met at the middle, you know, and, you know, we worked the deal. So yeah, that's the dope thing. But yeah, like by my team right now, the people that's helping me with the Vote League, not the, you know, not the creative side, not the back end of it, you know, it's like the people that you know, that help me out with the matches, the people that, you know, are out there taking photos, the DJ, my friend Kevin, you know, he's, you know, taking being a sideline ref. My friend Emmanuel is being a sideline ref as well. He also plays for the league, and he also helped me like ref a couple matches, you know. And also like my homie Chris, he's the one that does the picture. He goes by Elevation by Design on IG, which is like, man, like he's just like developing his like photography even better each week. I'm like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
like you're getting better. And that's what I like, you know. I feel like when you find the people that actually want to grow, that actually have a vision that, hey, this is my blow up someday, they stick to it and they want to work. And versus like people that kind of want to be like, okay, like I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do only so much, and if it doesn't blow up, like I'm gonna give up. And then they're just like, no, that's where you're wrong, because you work, you know, regardless of whatever, you know. It's just, you have to have a belief, you know. And you know, for the people that has ever helped me, I'm forever grateful for them.
That's what's up. That's cool, man. I mean, honestly, like me as an outsider, and I see all the work, you know, that you're putting in, and you know, all your homies that are helping you out, like it, like you guys are putting out some like really really dope like content. Not only like, you know, like visual stuff, you know, like you said, the pictures and maybe the jerseys and stuff like that, but you're also like helping, like you were saying, like, you know, people be able to have a place where they can go and like feel like they're a team. Because I've been looking. So I used to play, obviously, you know, high school and all that stuff, right? But like the feeling of putting out a jersey and, like, you know, putting on your socks on, and you know, having your matching shorts, you know, to go with it, you know, it gives you a sense of belonging. And I
Yeah,
think, like, you know, that, like, you know, that mindset of creating like an experience for the player, I think is pretty dope.
yeah.
So I mean, in behalf of them, I say thank you, because I mean, I'm happy just by watching it, so I can just imagine what, you know, what the players are getting for their money. Because like you said, you know, some of these leagues, they're probably charging you what you charge, or you know, what the league charges, or even more, and you know, you get a T-shirt if you win, you know. But here, you know, you get like your whole experience, your whole kid. You know, you feel like a team. You get your name on the back, like, you know, it's like the little details that kind of
Yeah,
make it dope.
the details, man. As much as I hate putting those names, like, you know, getting those names ready, man, because it's such a drag, you know. Like that's the thing, man. Like I don't blame people from not seeing, like, you know, what the work that gets put in, you know, behind the scenes. But like, if you as a fan appreciate this, like that's such a, like, you know, like a reward, because it's about like building the culture, like the growth, growing the culture in the city. I feel like we don't have that in the city, man. Like I feel like I created this because I kind of would go to LA, you know, see like FC Dorsum doing their thing, like kicks to the pitch doing their thing. I have my homie Sebastian. He goes by Seba as SBK, and you know, he's from Brooklyn, and he's doing the, you know, shooting for the MLS. You know, he's doing like his matches with his brand, and I was just like, man, it's dope that they're doing those things, but why can't Houston have that, you know? And then when you ask yourself that question, you're like, you know what? Are you gonna wait for somebody to come and do it, or are you just gonna do it? You know?
Exactly.
I just like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do it.
That's what's up, man. And like,
I
that's
don't.
exactly why I started like this podcast. You know, I started just to talk shit, basically. But
Yeah,
you know, obviously, hopefully, one day we'll be able to grow it. But you know, I have ideas and stuff like that. But I kind of want to hear about your ideas. So I saw also that you. I mean, I don't know if it's related or it came from your league, but the Volt League in Virginia, is that related to you guys?
yeah. The bowl league in Virginia, man. I was able to meet this guy. His name is Sean, and he's the owner of like Vibes Football FC, which is another fictional like soccer club. But it's just like right now, like that's more like a brand, you know. It, like, I guess you create the badge, the logo, to kind of like get the attention for like, you know, soccer fans. I don't know, like us soccer fans, like we just like to see badges, you know. So we click on like something that looks kind of like attractive, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and then you end up seeing like, oh wow, it's like a street soccer league. So it's dope. No, we collaborated like with him, because I see that he was doing the street, and I was like thinking, I was like, man, I gotta put out something with Bow League, you know, because you know we're like in the pandemic, like, you know, I have to get something in the works. Like, I'm like, Virginia was already open, you know, and Houston was like closed, and I was like, man, I need to find a city to, you know, to host something, because I don't want the brand like dying down, you know. I kind of like creating like a hype for nothing to happen, you know. So, you know, we did that. We started the league in Virginia. Like the next week, like Houston was ready to basically open. So I was like, you know what? I have everything ready. Let's run the league, you know?
That's what's up.
And yeah, no, it happened. And the cool thing with the league over there is that, you know, like, you know, those people have like a dope sense of like street style. like I like their style. Like they have like swagger to, you know, to their outfits, you know, like the way they play, you know, their shoes, like, you know, just bringing like a dope culture, you know, over there in Virginia, which is like, I was very impressed. Like I didn't know that like a city like that would, you know, would bring those type of like people, you know. It's
That's
dope.
tight. That's what's up. It's cool that, you know, you're kind of like branching out a little bit, or like, you know, the league is branching out.
Yeah.
It's, I guess it's like a testament to your hard work as well, you know?
Yeah, man.
Um, so let's before I ask you about like your inspirations and idea, like who inspires you, who, you know, where you get your ideas from, let's talk about the league a little bit more. I see the patch on your right shoulder or on your right arm.
Yeah.
So talk about the league. Like, we know how many teams you have, you know, how does everybody play? Because I know right now you guys are going into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, the league is like pretty standard. You know, we have like, you know, 8 clubs right now. 6 out of the 8 clubs qualify to the playoffs. And the cool thing about the league is that, you know, players had like a taste of a professional vibe, you know? Like, you know, having that little bit of taste of professional, but obviously with the budget that, you know, that I have is not, you know, is not the best, but, you know, actually trying to make it that way just made everybody feel like, you know, more comfortable and inspired to keep coming back to the league. Like the photographer was telling me that one of the guys was telling me, like, one of the biggest reasons he goes to the league is because of the photos, which was like pretty cool. But you know, the way that the league is set up, you know, the first 2 clubs, they go straight to the semifinals, and the other clubs get to play, you know, who goes to the semi, you know, to play the first and second. And you know, all the clubs have been pretty consistent except Green Flag FC, which was like you know, a sponsorship with like 90 Plus magazine is like another project, which was kind of like a curse, you know, because they ended up being the last team, you know, it won no matches, you know. But I was like, okay, you know, it's cool, you know, that even the team that I was playing, you know, didn't qualify. You know, we didn't do so good. But hey, but that just means that I didn't rig the league or anything like that. I
Right?
just
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, like, I couldn't assist the play, you know, because as a fan, I created this, you know, environment so I can be a part of. So, but
Okay.
I made the rules, like, you know, I was like as strict, you know, as I can be, so people don't think that that I'm, you know, that I'm trying to win my own league, you know.
Yeah.
That would suck, honestly. That would suck for me to just win my own league like right away, like.
And where do you guys play? Where do your league?
We
Takes
play
you?
with Sports Creek, man. Like, thank you. I really thank the owners, you know, for allowing us to, you know, to work on a deal and, you know, on this partnership that I feel like in the long run is gonna pay off because we're like in the middle of the city. You know, we're like right by the Dynamo Stadium. We're by Warehouse Live. We're by a place that you know is growing a lot. Like, you know, a lot of bars, a lot of food spots are opening near. So it's just like, you know, it's a matter of time for it to, you know, like really settle and just, you know, be something bigger. You know, where people actually come and watch the games. And so for this season, like for this upcoming season, we're gonna add like 4 more clubs. This is one of the clubs that we're adding to the league, and the other one will be GTS FC. That it took a little bit of time for me to kind of like curate because that's like my club, you know, the one that I wanted to play, but I wanted to be the right way. So, you know, right now, like, I mean, people can hit me up and they can, if they want to play, that, you know, I can register for a club already. You know, I haven't really announced it yet because I don't want to take the relevance of the playoffs, you know, like
Yeah.
so. But I kind of want to have like give like people a little sneak peeks of like what's coming and the thing that we already been working on so far.
And how does it work? Like, can you sign up as an individual? Do you have to go with like your team already? How do you do it?
Like you can sign up as an individual, but the people that, for example, like if a person brings like 7 players, you know, like they're gonna have like priority because, you know, we obviously want like, you know, players. So I do talk to teams. If you register, like I might change you to a new club that needs players, you know, or you might be able to stay to with that club. You know, it just depends. But like I said, if you bring more players in, you know, I'm gonna give you like priority because, you know, you have more players. And the thing with like with players is that it's cool when people already know each other because it makes it more competitive.
Yeah.
Like you know, the Inter team when they played first, man, they got really they got killed on the field because it was like a bunch of people that didn't know each other, you know, versus a team the first seed Brujas which like, you know, they've been playing with each other for, you know, since they were kids. So since like their high school days. So I was just like, yeah, like, you know, it's a tough match. So that's when I realized, I was like, you know what, like I can't do it like that, you know. But I mean, throughout the season, like people like started like, you know, getting better. Like their level was getting, you know, new players were coming in, which was cool. You know, they were like making the league like much more competitive. And yeah, man, and you know, working with Umbro, the brand, man, I'm so happy. I grew up with this with the Umbro brand, and you know, them allowing us, you know, to showcase their logo. You know, it's just cool, man. It's just cool.
That's another. I was gonna ask. Yeah, that was actually my next question about Umbro, because that's all. It also speaks about, you know, like what you're doing is getting, you know, it's catching the eye of certain people. Because I mean, it's a big name brand. You know, maybe it's not like a Nike or Adidas, but Umbro like has like historic kids out there, you know, in the world, and it has worked with, you know, it works in the biggest leagues out there.
Yeah, man, it's to me is one of the most historical like brands in the world. I grew up with this brand. Like I'm a Liga de Quito fan. So we had Umbro Kids since I was born, I think, you know. And you know, all my childhood, like I wore like Umbro Kids, you know, and I was always like, man, like Umbro, like track suits, you know, Umbro shoes, like everything, you know. So it was kind of like it was cool them noticing the league after I had like, you know, tagged them with the jerseys. And also like my friend Sebastian from Brooklyn, the photographer, he actually you know, knew the people from Umbro from New York, which got us the contact, you know, to,
That's what's
you know,
up.
to make this happen. So shouts out to him for real. And it was cool because also like the guy that runs the IG for the Umbro page, like he's Ecuadorian as well. So it's like kind of cool that, hey man,
Hey,
like,
it was
you know,
meant to happen.
we're Ecuadorians out here working in this industry, which is cool.
Right? You are the second Ecuadorian I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah, man, like we're a small country, you know, there's not a
Yeah,
lot of us. So it's kind of, well, in New York there is a lot of Ecuadorians. If you go to New York, you find Ecuadorians, but not
that's where
here.
all
You know,
y'all went.
Texas.
That's what's up.
Texas is tough to find Ecuadorians, man.
So also, I don't know if you want to talk about any of the other projects that you're involved in, because I know you kind of do a lot.
Yeah, man, like well, one of the projects that I'm currently working on, I'm doing like a Sample001 FC Academy for like 14 to 16-year-old kids. Kind of want to just you know, inspire like those kids, you know, like, you know, now that I'm old, like, you know, I was able to create bowl league and I have like, you know, it's cool that I get to play and, you know, people get to play. But also when I was younger, when I was like 14, 16, 17 years old, like I didn't have nowhere to play, like nowhere cool that I can play at. And it's not the bowl league, but I guess you could say like a club, you know, where you feel like you belong to something bigger than just like paying money to be part of like Texans, like Dynamos. Like honestly, like I don't know if I have too much respect for those clubs because I lived the experience, you know, of playing for them. And you know, there was like no cultural substance like to it. Like I think it was more of like making money rather than doing it for the culture.
Yeah.
So you know, I rather create something here in the city for kids, you know, 14 to 17 years old, that, you know, that I actually want to play. And you know, who knows what might happen. You know, we might travel to, you know, to play like other teams. We might, you know, we might get teams from Europe coming to, you know, to play us. Like, you know, I'm firm that I can, you know, organize and, you know, friendly matches with like good clubs, you know, around the city, around the state, outside the
Right.
state as well. So, you know, you know, the plan is not really like out there yet, but it's, you know, it's developing pretty fast and, you know, efficiently, and the creativity behind it is super cool. So,
That's tight.
yeah, man. And,
So
yeah, no, yeah, go ahead.
no, go for it. Go for it.
Another project is the 90 Plus magazine right here. It's a magazine that I'm doing in Spanish and English. So kind of want to have like people from like, you know, from South America and, you know, people from Europe to want to read it, to want to understand what goes on and, you know, here in the US, and also like what goes on in South America. So I have a partner over there in Ecuador that we're working together to, you know, to make that happen. It's already rolling. That's why we already have the logo on the jerseys and everything. So that's one another cool project. And Sample001, man, the thing is that it's like a branding agency, but with the agency right now, I'm kind of like putting like a stop right now for a little bit. Like I'm not taking any clients at the moment because I want to focus completely on the Bowl League and the academy and the magazine. Like kind of for this year, like I just want to go 100% into the football soccer culture, you know. So that's and see what happens, you know, because that's my passion, really. You know, I love like fashion, I love like sneakers, and if I can mix that a little bit with what goes on, you know, as far as the league, as far as the magazine, that'll be perfect because that will make perfect sense to me and it will keep me inspired. Because I don't want to do too much just like on the field, like, you know,
Yeah.
like a soccer thing just on the field. Like now I want to focus on the other details, like because it's like you know the slogan of the league says it's like more than just football. It's just
Exactly.
everything, you know.
Especially in a city like Houston, where, like, you know, if you make it too specific to one culture, you know, it's like you leave everybody else, you know, kind of away from it.
Yeah.
You know, we're such a diverse culture city that, you know, having kind of involved in different aspects of like culture, I think it'll. I mean, I think you have the right idea. So obviously you're doing something good. Um, but going into ideas and stuff like that, where would you say you get your ideas from? Like how do you get your inspiration? What do you look at? What gets you inspired?
Man, honestly, what gets me inspired, man, it's just like everything that I lived like as a child, man. Like I felt like I had the best childhood, and I've always been a person of detail. Like even when I was young, like you know, we would go by the Umbro Kids and everything. Like I remember like seeing the Ronaldo like photos like on you know on the walls. I seen the Ronaldinho like photos, like just like backhand photos, like just those details like was like such great marketing for me. Because I was like, man, I want that jersey. I want those like boots.
Real.
I want that. So it's like same thing. Like if I go through Instagram, like I see like little details and that inspires me. I see like you wouldn't even think like the smallest details that I just look at it and I was just like that's like eye pleasing to me. So I kind of want to do something like that. And you know same thing like just how I get inspired for like other like for example this logo right here is like inspired for you know the Boca Juniors logo.
Bro,
Like that's the inspiration right here.
you talking to the Boca Juniors guy right here.
Yeah,
No,
man.
yeah, that's my team, bro.
But you can see the resemblance though, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. The stars
everything
for
is
sure.
like yeah. So everything is like it's like an inspiration from something that I've seen, you know. And that's what I want people to look at. If you look at my league and then you're trying to do something like it, like man, go ahead and do it, you know. Like I ain't competing with somebody else. Like I actually want the city to grow. It's cool like because I just seen like one of my friends like Brian, he's a creator for the Houston Dynamo, and he just dropped like this thing with one of his partners, this like Screwstone FC, which was
Yeah,
pretty fucking dope.
it's
I was
fucking
like,
dope.
man, that's what I want to see. Like I want to see
Exactly.
people just like you know not caring and just doing it like
Exactly.
and you know those things I'm gonna support 100%. So with me, like I've never really had like a crazy support in the city as far as like the soccer thing. But now that I created the league, like I'm seeing the support from other people and you know, like the players themselves are like getting inspired as well. And some of the players I've seen that their Instagram like aesthetic has changed, you know, like kind of seeing the league, like, yo, like let me match this, you know, like
Right.
if you can do if somebody that I know can do it, why can I do it? So, you know, that's the good thing of going to like all these cities like New York, LA, you get to ask yourself like if those people do it, why can't I do it? So that makes you actually do it.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's inspiring. I mean, shit, you inspired me. But I mean, it's pretty dope. Man, like there's so many things, and like I have a lot of questions, but maybe, you know, we can probably get it another time. But
Yeah.
um, I I I have some ideas that probably with your head they could probably go even bigger. But I'll tell you those later.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Anytime.
but yeah, man. So you know, just to close this conversation,
Yeah.
is there anything you want to kind of put out there? You know, let people know where they can find you, where they can go. You know, maybe they can buy it. Can they buy those jerseys just out the blue or?
Not yet, not yet. That's going to be available, man. Like I don't want to walk myself into like a mayhem, you know, because
You
you know,
gonna be you gonna be printing shirts all day?
like, yeah, when people start like ordering, man, it gets nuts. So now I wanna be able to like, you know, build everything like solid. You know, I don't want to rush into like doing something crazy and not
Yeah.
being able to handle it anymore, man. That's happened. I already learned my lesson. So, but no, like I want to tell people that everybody's welcome to, you know, to come to Sports Creek and you know watch the league. And if you guys want to you know sign up for the league, want to be a part of it, like you know you guys are more than welcome. This is like for the city. This is for the U.S. This is for you know for growing the culture. You know, making a place to be. You know, like a little Europe where like you know you have everybody like playing outside. You know, kind of want to make that happen. You know, for once out here. So yeah, man. Like you guys can find us at Bowl League, and the season 2 is about to start. But you know, come check us out for the final. So
How do those games get? Do they get heated?
oh yeah, some games starting to get heated, man. Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fun, like to watch everybody, you know, like actually wanting to compete and not wanting to lose, man. So
That's what's up.
so you know, just come visit us, man. Some weekend.
Tight. All right. Well, thank you, Seba, for joining me in this conversation. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed talking to you. I enjoyed kind of picking your brain because I kind of see, you know, what's behind all of these pictures that I've seen and, you know, all the stuff that I see. So it's pretty cool to kind of see how you work and how your brain works a little bit. So thank you again, man, for
Man,
joining us.
no, thank you for bringing me to your space, man. I appreciate what you're doing, man, and keep it up, man.
Appreciate it.
I'll be talking to you soon, man.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you for everything, man.
Let me
Bye bye.
later. All right.